full. Lynn for the win. Got it.
Well, what better way to start off this week's webisode of The Better Half was, of course, a Jeremy Lin highlight from the New York Knicks. We cannot get enough of the Linsanity. Welcome to this week's webisode. I'm Kendra D. St. Aubin. This is Katie Hartley. We're going to take a look back at what's been going on this week.
Well, I, for one, Kendra, have Linsanity. I love this guy. He's so fun to watch. I can't get enough of seeing this guy play. But, Kendra, are you a believer?
I'm absolutely a believer. 161 points in 6 games. They're 6-0. I don't think he's going to put up these numbers forever. Of course, he's going to have a bad game. He's had some turnovers here and there. But I think that not only am I a believer, I think his team is a believer, and I think the people in New York are believers. And really, that's ultimately what's important. The New York Knicks feel like they have a chance to win now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the reason that this guy is having success is the system that he's been put in. It's the team that he plays for. That hurry up, no defense kind of D'Antoni situation that he's in is really, really good for players like this. So I do think the success might have a limited time span on it, but I love watching this guy play.
Well, what I love is he's in that system, but he's making the most of it. I mean, you still have to make the shots. You still have to make the passes. I mean, in the passing that he's able to do, it does kind of remind me of Steve Nash, the kind of the no-look, the wrap-around, the bounce passes. I love that kind of stuff, and he looks great.
Well, speaking of Steve Nash, Charles Barkley spouting off about how he feels about Steve Nash being selected for this year's All-Star game. He's quoted as saying, "Clearly we gave Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki a Lifetime Achievement Award." Do you agree or disagree with Charles Barkley?
Well, first of all, Steve Nash, 38 years old, and even if it was a Lifetime Achievement Award, they've earned it. But Steve Nash's numbers, equivalent to his 2 MVP years of 2004 and 2006. And he's leading the league in assists right now, and the team he's playing for aren't even making that many shots until recently. They started to get a couple wins. But I think Steve Nash's numbers are unbelievable, and he's playing on a team that we've heard from him several times isn't that talented. So what do you think?
Well, this is one of the many reasons why Charles Barkley needs to shut his mouth. What a freaking
shove another donut in there.
Idiot. Honestly, he is old, fat, and jealous. Like, sorry you can't play anymore, Chuck, but be quiet. Let Steve Nash have his day. I think all Suns fans would agree that he has earned the All-Star selection, and he deserves this. I think he's absolutely earned it, and Charles Barkley just needs to zip it.
He's got to be one of the only guys that would say something negative about Steve Nash in this light and his performance. If Steve Nash was old and not putting up those numbers, I would agree with him, but he's having one of the best years of his career.
Definitely. Well, another guy that I want to punch in the face is Tiger Woods. However, he did play in the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am this weekend. He was paired with Phil Mickelson. Massive ratings for this golf tournament. What are your thoughts, Kendra?
I loved it. I watched it. I taped it. I made sure that I saw this. Whenever Tiger Woods is in a tournament, I make sure to watch. When he's not, I really could care less. And the fact that he was paired with Phil Mickelson in the final round made it even more special. I mean, they weren't even the final grouping. They weren't even the leaders going into that. And the final round was up 96% the ratings on CBS. So I think it's a fact, whether you hate Tiger or whether you love him, he drives ratings and he's good for the game of golf.
And I saw another stat, actually, that the highest ratings during that entire golf tournament was 30 minutes prior to Phil Mickelson's final putt. And that's the Tiger factor right there. Kind of makes me want to punch him in the face even more. But Tiger Woods was, of course, paired with one of my favorite football players, Tony Romo, and I was not happy to see them chatting. I don't know what they were talking about, but I don't like it.
I think they were fast friends. I think Tony Romo, he requested him. He was like texting him and calling him all week leading up to that tournament. So you're going to have to ixnay Tony Romo now, and the Cowboys. I don't think you should like the Cowboys anymore.
I'm not happy about that. Not happy about that at all. And another not happy story was we lost a legend in the music industry this past weekend with the death of Whitney Houston. But many people found some different ways to pay tribute to her. There is a boy from Taiwan who sang a Whitney Houston song. Let's take a listen.
Amazing. I saw this video yesterday and I was flabbergasted. I mean, first of all, it does sound just like Whitney Houston, this boy. It's awkward, but it's amazing.
Look away. And then it sounds exactly like her. It's so crazy. It's like the body just doesn't match the sound at all.
Well, and everybody talks about how tough that song is to sing, so
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing that he was able to hit all those high notes. But
Well, I thought
you were going to give us a little rendition.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we
Go
should
for it.
sing, like everybody's been singing their own, tribute to Whitney
No,
Houston.
I think people have just been saying what their favorite is. I don't know that everyone's
Really?
been singing it like you.
Well, I can sing. Ready? And I will always love you. No?
No, and
Not
I'm
so
not even
good?
going to go there. I will spare you
Well,
all.
what's your favorite song?
I want to dance with somebody.
Well,
And I'm more
just
than
give
happy
us-
if you play that
give
song,
us-
I will dance to it, but I'm not singing.
Oh, you'll dance but not sing?
Yes.
Not even
Which
a little
dancing
bit?
is embarrassing
One
too.
little bar?
No, I've told you before. My brother, since like the age of 5, has been telling me to shut up every time I sing. So that's an indication. That's family right there, and he's telling me to zip it. I'll let you steal the show with that.
Okay.
But what's your favorite song?
I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Oh, okay.
But I like the classics, from the
Yeah.
Bodyguard.
Oh,
I'll
good.
always love you. I'll always sing that.
I haven't heard a Kevin Costner quote. I wonder how he feels about the Whitney Houston passing.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll be back with that next week on The Better Half. For more Whitney Houston trivia, you can follow Kendra on Twitter at Kendra620, and I will not sing at all for you anymore, but you can follow me on Twitter at FunKatie620. We'll be back next week for another episode of The Better Half. No singing.